all, welcome to another video with Pratham Test Prep. This is your host Sushila, and today we will be talking about Supreme Court's judgment on bribes for votes. This is regarding the privileges of MPs and MLAs. Now, in a groundbreaking decision on Monday, March 4, the Supreme Court of India overturned the 1998 PV Narasimha Rao judgment, which granted immunity to members of Parliament and Legislative Assembly members under Articles 105 Clause 2 and 194 Clause 2 of the Constitution for receiving bribes in anticipation of a vote or speech in the legislature. The recent verdict, issued by a 7-judge bench led by Chief Justice of India D.Y. Chandrachud and comprising Justices A.S. Bopanna, M.M. Sundaresh, P.S. Narasimha, J.B. Pardiwala, Sanjay Kumar and Manoj Mishra, sets aside the earlier ruling. The 1998 case, decided by 5-judge bench with a majority of 3-2, was held that the case held that the legislators were immune from prosecution in bribery cases related to their parliamentary duties, provided they upheld their end of the bargain for which they received the bribe. The current decision came about after an appeal by Jharkhand Mukti Morcha leader Sita Soren, accused of accepting bribe for a 2012 Rajya Sabha vote. The Supreme Court, disagreeing with and overruling the previous judgment, stated the bribery is not protected by the legislative privileges and MPs and MLAs cannot claim immunity from prosecution for bribery related to their votes or speeches in legislature. Now let's look at the constitutional provisions that are being talked here. The Constitution, through Article 105, parliamentary privileges are outlined in the Indian Constitution. Now, parliamentary privileges grant special rights and immunities to the members of Parliament. These privileges include freedom of speech within the Parliament, subject to constitutional provisions and parliamentary rules under Article 105 Clause A. However, discussions on the conduct of judges during their duties are restricted except through the motion of a judge's removal in Article 121. Now, this is an exception. Members also enjoy freedom from arrest 40 days before and after a session with immunity within the Parliament limits. Arrest outside these limits require the House's permission except for criminal charges under specific acts. Additionally, members have the right to control the publication of proceedings under Article 105 Clause 2 and the authority to exclude non-members from parliamentary discussions and ensure fair and open deliberations. Now, talking about Article 194, the provision of Article 194 states that no member of the legislature of a state shall be liable to any proceedings in any court in respect of anything said or any vote given by him in the legislature or any committee thereof, and no person shall be so liable in respect of the publication by or under the authority of a house of such a legislature of any report, papers, votes or proceedings. Now let's talk about so these are the constitutional provisions that are involved, that is Article 105 and 194. 105 deals with the powers of members of Parliament, whereas 194 deals with the privileges of members of state legislatures. Now let's talk about the 1998 case, which was overruled in this particular circumstance. The 1998 case was a significant case because in this particular case, PV Narasimha Rao, the former Prime Minister of India, faced allegations of bribery in connection with a no-confidence motion against his government in 1993. It was alleged that the criminal conspiracy was hatched by Rao and other Congress leaders to bribe the members of Parliament to secure votes in favor of the government during the no-confidence motion. The Central Bureau of Investigation registered cases against JMM MPs. So currently also this particular case also that we are talking about, it is also related to a JMM leader that right now it's Sita Soren, who is related to the person who was a part of the case in 1998. So the Jharkhand Mukti Morcha leaders and other individuals were accused of accepting bribes by the CBI. Now, the case led to a legal battle that reached the Supreme Court, and in 1998, a 3-2 majority judgment by a 5-judge bench granted legislatures immunity from prosecution for accepting bribes based on Article 105 clause 2 of the Constitution of India. Now let's talk about if we talk about the key points of this verdict. Now in this, the decision clarified that the Indian parliaments are and Indian houses of legislature are different from the House of Commons that is there in UK. So the decision clarified that unlike the House of Commons in the United Kingdom, India does not have ancient and undoubted privileges, and privileges in pre-independence India were governed by statute. The court held that legislators cannot claim immunity for bribery under Article 105 Clause 2 and Article 194 Clause 2, since it does not fulfill the twofold test of being tethered to the collective functioning of the House and being necessary for the discharge of essential duties. So in this we can see that the court held that an immunity can only be claimed in two circumstances, where first of all that the whatever the privilege is there will be claimed, and the immunity will be granted if the claim is for so to make sure that the collective functioning of the House is doing properly, and secondly it is necessary for the member of the parliament or the member of legislature assembly for the discharge of the essential duties given to him or her. Now the court concluded that bribery is not protected by parliamentary privileges and noted that the question of privilege is amenable to judicial review. It emphasized that corruption and bribery by legislators erode probity in public life and undermine the foundation of Indian parliamentary democracy. The judgment also clarified that the offence of bribery under the Prevention of Corruption Act is complete when the illegal gratification is taken, regardless of whether the legislator votes or gives speech later. The court criticized the P.V. Narasimha Rao judgment, that is the 1998 judgment, for creating a paradox where a legislator accepts a bribe and is voting accordingly, and such a voting is protected, while one voting independently despite of the bribe being prosecuted. So the decision highlighted that this particular decision in this Sita Soren versus Union of India case highlighted that Articles 105 and 194 of the Constitution of India aim to create an environment for debate, deliberation within the legislature, where is pardon me. So I'll come again. The decision highlighted that the Articles 105 and 194 of the Constitution aim to create an environment for debate and deliberation within the legislature, which is comprised when members are induced to speak or vote in a particular manner due to bribery. It emphasized the need for the members to be free from fear as well as favor induced by a third party, and to exercise free will and conscience for the meaningful functioning of the houses. The judgment concluded that corruption and bribery of legislators undermines the foundation of Indian parliamentary democracy, creating a polity that deprives citizens of a responsible, responsive, and representative democracy. The court also addressed other aspects, including the distinct spheres of jurisdiction for criminal prosecution and disciplinary action by the House, and the potential for misuse against the individual members. Now, during the oral arguments, various senior advocates presented differing views, with arguments against overturning the P.V. Narasimha Rao case judgment, stressing the importance of constitutional privileges and immunities. The court ultimately rejected these arguments and emphasized the need to curb the increasing criminalization of politics and protect the foundations of democracy. And this particular judgment was welcomed by all, and first and foremost it was welcomed by our Honorable Prime Minister through a tweet on the media platform X. Now for more such content, please keep watching, and thank you for watching this particular video. If this video interests you, kindly like, comment and share with like-minded people, and subscribe to the channel for more such content. Thank you so much and have a great evening. Thank you.